So, good morning. Second year Bcom Computer Applications Semester 3 Rdbms. Second year Bcom and second year BA Computer Applications Semester 3 Rdbms. ER model. One of the data model is called as ER Entity Relationship Model and ER diagrams. ER model and ER diagrams. A compulsory essay type question from Rdbms. Compulsory essay type question from Rdbms. So we discuss about these two things, ER model and ER diagrams. So there are many, what are data models and what are the different types of data models. So data model is a technique or a tool or a procedure or a process which is used to understand the logical working or a logical view of a database. Means మనకి డిఫరెంట్ ఏరియాస్లో మనం ఈ డిబిఎంఎస్ లేదా ఆర్డిబిఎంఎస్ అనేది మనం యూస్ చేస్తాము. సో వీ కెన్ అండర్స్టాండ్ ఫస్ట్ ద బిజినెస్ లాజిక్ ఆఫ్ ద ప్రాబ్లమ్ ఆర్ ప్రాబ్లమ్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ ద గివెన్ ప్రాబ్లమ్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, కామర్స్ స్టూడెంట్ ఉన్నాడు. కామర్స్ స్టూడెంట్ కాంట్ అండర్స్టాండ్ అబౌట్ ఆయిల్ and other industries, engineering industries. So by using some drawings and pictures and drawing some tables, he can easily understood all these things. So ER diagram is one of the model, database model or DBMS model to understand the working of a problem or to understand the problem statement or a business problem, business to find out some business solutions and to convert the business solutions into our problems into business solutions, or to convert the business solutions into computerized database applications like that. So there are many types of data models are there, like a conceptual model, hierarchical model, network model, tree model, ER model. So ER model is the relational model, and out of all these things, among all these things, only ER model or entity relationship model and relational model, these two are the essay type questions and compulsory essay type questions and important models for the designing of the databases in any DBMS. So database design, what is a database design? So database design is one of the process of design process or SDLC process. SDLC means software development life cycle process. So first we understand the first step, problem statements and business logics are used. In the second step, we may draw the databases, or we may draw and understand the working of a databases or working of a business problem by using database designs. So database design is the third step in the SDLC process, where we can convert the business problems into these databases by using different tools and diagrams. So different terminologies are used: conceptual design, schema refinement, physical database design and tuning. So conceptual design means here model is used at this stage. So what are the entities, what are relationships? Here there are two important terms are used frequently: entity and relationships. So in the conceptual design, we may understand what are the before going to start ER model, we may design write the conceptual design the conceptual model. So here we may identify what are different entities and what are different relationships in the problem statement or business logic. What information about these entities and relationships should we store in the database? What are the integrity constraints or the business rules? And what is a schema, and how to draw ER diagrams into a relational schema, like that. So there are two terminologies are used: entities and relationships. So entity is nothing but entities are nothing but they can be taken as anything in day-to-day life. For example, in the student environment, students, classes, lecturer, lectures, faculty, all these are entities. And relationships are used to create or establish various relations among different entities by using different models. So integrity constraints is another term. Integrity constraint means there are different conditions. Integrity constraint is nothing but it is a condition or a validation checks applied before we may design any database. What are different integrity constraints means? Some tables or some fields may not contain zero values, or some fields may not contain blank values. For example, in student form or student database, name should not be blank or zero. So database constraints, integrity constraint means a set of conditions or a set of rules to be applied. Business rules means different procedures and different processes, validation checks, all these things. So schema is the means it is the structure of a database. So all these are the basic terms we may require. So ER model, what is ER model and what are the different types of ER model basics, how we draw ER model for various problems or business solutions, like that. So ER model is a model. ER model is nothing but entity relationship model. It is a model to draw or to explain some business logic with some diagrams, with some symbols. So ER model contains various symbols used and various terms and terminology also used, like entities, attributes, entity, domains, and relationship, like that. So what are the different terms used in ER model? Entities and attributes, entity set, domain, key, and relationship, etc. So what is an entity? Real world object distinguishable from other objects. An entity is described using a set of attributes. So an entity is nothing but it is taken as a real world object. Any real world object can be taken as an entity. For example, employees, departments, designations, and classes, teachers, faculty, students, everything can be taken as an entity. And every entity have some properties, and these properties have called as attributes or properties or characteristics. And entity set, what is entity set? Is collection of similar entities. Example, all employees, all entries in entities in so. And what is a key? Key is nothing but it is some field or some attribute or some column in a table or in a relation is called as a key. So each entity have many keys. And domain, what is domain? Domain is nothing but a set of keys or set of attributes is called as a domain. So here we are using a simple drawn a simple ER diagram with employees, like with SSN, name, and lot. So employees is an entity, and all entities are generally represented with a square symbol. And attributes and properties, attributes or properties or characteristics are generally represented with some circle, oval symbol. So this is the simple example of a employee entity. So logical database design to ER or ER and ER to relational. So how to understand or how to solve a business problem, how to convert a business problem into a computerized database problem means, first in the first step, first we understand the understand the business problem statement. Second one, we draw or design a logical database by using some design tools and techniques. And in the third step, we convert the logical database design into ER models. And in the fourth step, from the ER diagrams and ER tools, we may convert it into a relational model. From the relational model to the final physical stage. So this is the step-by-step procedure to create a database for a commercial applications. So entity sets to tables means here we taken employees table with SSN number, name, lot, and so first of all we create tables, each and every table, like employee table, student table, with SQL statements like create table. So create table employee, so SSN, name, lot, and primary key. So here, as we know that different types of SQL data types are available. There are many types of SQL commands or SQL data types are available, like char, varchar, integer, number, boolean, dates, times, like that. And primary key, here you shown here, primary key is a constant, integrity constant. So in this diagram we may write different we are taking different examples for year models, or where here we drawn sample year models or sample year diagrams with the different entities and characteristics. So here we're taking two examples. Employees department is one, employee reports to another one. So employee department is a simple ER model example. సో ఇన్ ఎగ్జామ్లో మీరు ఇలాంటి డయాగ్రామ్స్ గీయాలి. ఎస్ఏ టైప్ క్వశ్చన్, కంపల్సరీ ఎస్ఏ టైప్ క్వశ్చన్ కింద వస్తుంది. సో ఎంప్లాయీస్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్స్, జనరల్లీ ఎంప్లాయీస్ వర్క్స్ ఇన్ an organization in various departments. Generally employees works in various departments of an organization. So here employee and department are two entities, means taken as to real world things. And works in is a relation or relationship. So what is a relationship? Relationship is represented with some diamond symbol. Diamond symbol తోటి మనము రిలేషన్షిప్ అనేది మనం రిప్రజెంట్ చేస్తాం. రిలేషన్షిప్స్ ఆర్ జనరల్లీ రిప్రజెంటెడ్ విత్ సమ్ diamond symbols. So relationships are represented with some diamond symbols, and entities are represented by using some square symbols. Entities are represented with some square symbol. So what is this example? Employees works in various departments of an organization. So employee and department are two entities with some attributes or some properties or some characteristics. Generally employees have SSN number, a name and a lot, and department have department ID, department name, budget. And works in is a relation or a relationship. Generally relation or relationships are used to connect two or more entities, and even relationships also have some properties or characteristics. Since here it is, since means year, number of years, since we have since when the employees working in this department. So this is the simple example of a ER diagram. So in the exam we may write complex ER models and complex diagrams. So what is a relationship? Relationship is an association among two or more entities. Example, some XXX works in pharmacy department. Relationship set means a collection of similar relationships, and an array relationship set are so this is the basic terminology used in ER models. Entities, relationships or relations, and different, we are using here different symbols for ER models. So relationship sets two tables. After creating or after designing, after designing the ER model, drawing ER models or ER diagrams, we may convert it into tables. What are tables? Physical tables, like in SQL physical tables means physical database design. So here we are using another example, and So taking as employees, managers, departments. Employees, managers, departments means employee is one entity and departments is another entity. Managers means works is a relationship with same structure. And here we are using different types of relationships. Here we are using different types of relationships. There are many basically four types of relationships are used to represent any relationship or any database designs. So first one is one-to-one relationship, second one is one-to-many relationship, third one is many-to-many, and fourth one is many-to-many. Generally here in this example, employee manages departments means it is a one-to-one relationship, means every employee, each and every employee works only in one department. So every employee works only in one department, so that there is a one-to-one relationship is existed in this example. So in like that only there are many other types of relations also there, one-to-many and many-to-one and many-to-many, like that. So this is another example. Here we elaborate. ఇక్కడ మనం ఈ ఎంప్లాయీ టేబుల్ని మనం ఇంకా కొంచెం ఎలాబరేట్ చేసి మనం రాసాము. ఏంటంటే ఎంప్లాయీస్ మేనేజర్స్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్స్ అండ్ ఎంప్లాయీస్ వర్క్స్ ఇన్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్స్. Here we are taking two entities, employees and departments, and two relationships, managers and works in. So here also we are taking same fields or attributes. Employees having some SSN number, name, lot. Managers and works in are two relationships with only a single field, since, and department is also having three fields: department number, name, budget. So it is another example for drawing ER diagrams. Employees, policies and dependents. So employees may take policies with their dependents. So here employees and dependents are two entities with SSN, name, lot, and dependents is another entity with parent name and age. Policy is another is a relationship with cost. So here is another example of using ER models or ER diagrams. In this, employees manages departments. So employees having SSN number, name, lot, and managers means here managers is a relationship. Here we are using two fields. One is called as since and second one is called as budget, and department have department ID, name, budget. And in the next example, here we uses we are taking three entities like employees, departments, and manager, MGR APPTS. Here employees, we are taking three entities like employees, department, and manager. MGR means manager or managers, like that. So by using these three entities we may create some relation or a relationship. It is called as managers 3. So these are the simple examples of so here is another example of taking ER model. In this example we are taking students or students as an example for drawing ER models. So university example. In this example we may take as university example. So a university database contains information about professors or teachers or lecturers identified by social security number or SSN number, and courses identified by various course IDs. Generally professors, teachers, courses, and each of the following situations concerns the teacher's relationship set. For each situation, draw an AR diagram that describes it, assuming that no further constraints hold. So in this example, professors can teach the same course in several semesters and each offering must be recorded. Professors can teach the same course in several semesters and only the most recent such offerings needs to be recorded, and every professor must teach some course. Every professor teaches exactly one course, no more, no less. Every professor teaches exactly one course, no more or no less, and every course must be taught by some professor. Now we assume that certain courses can be taught by a team of professors jointly. So here we draw the diagram for this problem. So here, what are the entities, or what are the entities? What are the entities means professors, semester, and courses. Professor or teacher, semester, and course are the three entities, and professors have some professor name, SSN number, professor ID or professor name, like that, and semester this one semester event have a semester ID, and course having some course ID. So by using these three entities, by connecting these three entities, we may write or we may create some relationship. We may create some relationship called teachers. So professor, what is the meaning of this diagram? Means generally professor teaches some lectures or some courses in each and every semester. So this is the simple or basic diagram of the university example. This is the simple and basic. It is called as context level diagram. It is called as context level diagram. Here three entities are used: professor, semester, courses. So generally professor teaches courses in each and every semester. So here is we may write this diagram in another way, like a professor, courses. Professor having some SSN number, and teacher having some semester number, and courses having some course ID. This is another way to write the same example. Here we are using some symbol between professor and teachers. What is that means? It is a relationship, a type of relationship. Here it is a one-to-many relationship. It means it uses generally one-to-many relationship. Means every professor can teach. Every professor teaches more than one course. Every professor has teaches more than one course at a time. Here you underline, here in this example you underline the SSN field. What is that underline means? Underline symbol is generally used to draw or depict as a key, some key. Means here we are using some primary key for the professor entity with SSN. And ante professor table lo లేదా professor entity lo SSN అనేది social security number అనేది primary key. So this is another example. In this example we are taking different entities, professor, courses, group, and two types of relationships created, member of and teachers. So professor have some SSN number and group have group ID, and teachers is a relationship having semester field, and course is another entity having course ID. It is a primary key, and professor have common field or a key or a primary key have like SSN number, and group have a primary key like a group ID. So professor is a member of some group. Member of is a relationship between joins, generally it joins professor and group, and group a group of professors teaches courses. Professors teaches various courses. So here teaches is another relationship. So this is another example of a university example. Example. This is another ER diagram. This is another way of representing or drawing ER diagram for the university exam. So all these are basic level or context level or geo level ER diagrams. So next example is a company database. What is a company database? This is the problem statement or a statement given. So this is the example. This is the example of a company databases. In this example, we may take in 3 entities like employees, departments, and child. Employees have some SSN number, salary, phone number. Here SSN is the key field, and similarly departments have some department number, department name, budget. Department number is a key, and child is another entity having only child name and age. Name is the key. So here again we are using 3 different relationship among them. In between employees and department, we may create managers is a one relationship. So employee manages departments, and employees, similarly another relationship is employees works in departments. Similarly employees having dependent is another relationship. So child depends on employees or parents. Generally child or children dependents on employees or parents. So here it is one to many relationship, many to one relationship. Many to one relationship means every employee has many child or children, and generally they dependent on their parents. So dependent is one relationship, and managers is another relationship, and works in is another relationship. So this is the example, another example for company database ER diagram for. So this is the example for ER diagram for company database. ఈ ఎగ్జామ్లో ఇది రాయాలండి, ఈ ఎగ్జామ్లో ఇవన్నీ రాయాలి. సో థ్యాంక్ యూ.